The $25 million lie revealed by Gervonta Tank Davis as people try to minimize the fight that he should be having coming up with Frank Martin and claiming that he's ducking Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about all of that in this video. All right, good people. We're going to talk this boxing again. This time we're going to be in the 135-pound division where, while there is a big hiatus of major fights going on in boxing, there's a lot of talk and some fights getting announced. One that is supposed to be announced soon or rumored to have been agreed upon is between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. And accordingly, there are many people out there that have a problem with that fight, and they bring up two things. One, that Gervonta Davis ducked a $25 million offer to fight a more difficult opponent, and also that he is ducking the WBC world champion Shakur Stevenson because the unification fight between the two is preferable to a fight between Gervonta and Frank Martin. Before I get into the details of each of those things, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a big deal. A big difference to the channel, especially to everybody that supports and the super thanks. Thank you guys so very, very, very much for what you do. And I want to take just 1 second in the middle of this video to give a special thank you to the people that supported in the super thanks yesterday. And that would be Enigma Revenge with the $5 holler, brother. Thank you so much for the support of the Gervonta Davis Frank Martin video that we did yesterday. Now, let's get into this. Man, first of all, Gervonta Davis put up a post yesterday that talked about a rumor about him having turned down $25 million for a fight with Conor Benn. Now, I had a hard time with that rumor because I'm having a hard time with all these rumors that are flying around. I think all these rumors are flying around because there's not any fights happening. So there's just a bunch of people trying to come up with content. I can completely understand that. I put up 4 pieces of content a day, and it's not always the most exciting thing to do. And sometimes, hey, man, you know, you talk about what's out there. That's what content creators do. They create content. However, there are some content creators that are making up content, right? And this $25 million rejection of Gervonta Davis that Gervonta Davis was supposed to have rejected for Conor Benn sounds just like that, because even before Gervonta Davis brought up a tweeted communications between, I had to be Al Heyman or notes sent to Al Heyman by Eddie Hearn, where Eddie Hearn offered him $10 million plus an upside of the pay-per-view and gate. That's what was offered from Eddie Hearn to Gervonta Davis's team, not $25 million. Now, the reason why I didn't need that to know that $25 million was not correct, because Conor Benn had said the exact same thing. Conor Benn said when he originally told people about the offer that was sent to Gervonta, said that Gervonta could earn between $10 and $15 million. That's what Conor Benn said. So Conor Benn originally said between 10 and 15 million. Now Gervonta Davis is saying, showing the paperwork where Eddie Hearn said that they would pay him $10 million and then upside on the gate and the pay-per-view, which I assume Conor Benn thought could mean an additional $5 million, up to an additional $5 million for Gervonta Davis. There's no question that the $25 million offer was not made. This, however, should not surprise anyone because people have made the same exaggeration about what DAZN was going to offer Gervonta Davis for a Devin Haney fight. $20 million for a Devin Haney fight was what Bill Haney said that was offered for a fight with Devin Haney by Eddie Hearn. And then, but it could have been $40 million. And then they moved it to the Saudi Arabian Turki al-Sheikh. The Turki al-Sheikh wants to give the money. But if you listen carefully to what Turki al-Sheikh said, he didn't mention giving any money at all. But hey, man, if it works to tear down Gervonta Davis's name just a little bit to even out the playing field with the fighters you like, I guess you got to do what you got to do. Now, in addition to that, besides the fact that they made that up, there's this idea that somehow Gervonta Davis is ducking Shakur Stevenson because Gervonta Davis is fighting Frank Martin and not Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is promoted by Bob Arum and Top Rank. That fight is going to be very difficult to make just because he fights and that belt is controlled by Bob Arum, just like Bob Arum controls the other three of the other championship belts at 135 pounds. Shakur Stevenson said that he was going to retire because he didn't get the fight. He didn't get that fight against Navrati for the WBO belt. That's a little mini tournament that Shakur Stevenson's going to be in. And if you want to ignore the fact that Top Rank has the WBO championship, the IBF championship, and the WBC championship, and this is the second time that they've held all those belts at most of the belts at 135, and they did an in-house tournament before. You don't think they're going to do the same in-house tournament again with Vasily Lomachenko, George Kambosos, Emmanuel Navarrete, and Shakur Stevenson? You think that he's going to send their fighters over there to the PBC to do unification and lose one of those belts? It's not going to happen. And in fact, Bob Arum said it wasn't going to happen. Bob said, look, yeah, Gervonta, good fighter. All my fighters can beat him. But why am I'm looking for fights for my fighters. Why might I be running around looking for fights for Gervonta Davis's fight, for Gervonta Davis or Al Heyman's fighters? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to make fights for my fighters. And I've got plenty of good fights that I can make between my fighters. Bob Arum is not just going to disappear all of a sudden. And Gervonta Davis not dropping his agreements or whatever he has with Top Rank, whatever he has with PBC, and saying, yeah, let me go sign. Let me see if I can break my contracts, pay my way out of a contract or whatever he has with Al Heyman and go sign with Bob Arum. That's just not practical. It's not going to happen. And acting as if it's going to happen is just ignores reality, okay? Especially if you're just going to blame one guy for it and not blame them both for it. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.